Okay, so this is the second video. This is where we left off. We've got our mining machine, we've put down the conveyor belt. Now what we're going to do, first of all, I want to close these. Now at the bottom, I'm going to, on the fourth icon is storage. So we click on that and we have these 4 depots. So I want to build it as close to the conveyor belt as I can. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plop one down like that. And now I'm going to click on the third icon at the bottom, which is logistics. And it's got this sorter here. Now this game is all about doing math in your head. I don't know whether you're going to find that fun or not, but what you see here is this sorter has a cycle speed of 1.5 trips per second. So that's, I believe that is 90 pieces per minute. And 180 pieces are coming out onto the belt. So I'm going to take a sorter, and you have to, it's important, this is another thing that's going to trip you up. The sorters are directional. So if I want it to take from the belt and put into the depot, I have to first click on the belt and then click on the storage depot. And you can see the storage depot has 3 spots here where you could put this. So I'm going to put it on the end. And then once again, I'm going to click on the belt and then the storage depot. So now we've got 2 sorters that can pick 90 pieces per minute. So that should equal 180. And this storage depot can hold 30 stacks of stuff. In this case, it's going to be holding ore. So the only thing left is it needs power. So I'm going to build some of these Tesla towers, because that's how you connect things to the grid. So it's going to take a minute here. Let's sort my inventory. Maybe throw some wood into the fuel chamber. And while we wait, I'm going to show you that you can actually stack another storage bin. So at the bottom, I'm clicking on the 4th icon for storage, and I'm clicking on the storage depot, and I'm going to stack it on top of the other one. So right now I can only stack 2. Eventually, like, I've had it go up to like 5 eventually, via researching stuff through the research tree. And while we wait for our storage depots, or sorry, our Tesla towers, actually scratch that thought because they're done. So I'm going to click on the first one, which is the first icon at the bottom is power. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to select the Tesla tower, and I'm just going to put it right beside the storage bin here, perhaps on the other side. And now they've got, the sorters have power, and you can see they are pulling out 180 pieces per minute. If I click on it, it shows you it's at 100% power, 100% capacity, and it's doing 1.5 trips per second as expected. And you can see that basically this number here is is staying right around 30. So the number of ore that is stored in the mining machine is kind of stuck at around 30 because we are taking exactly the same amount that it's producing. I don't know if that it's math. You'll get used to it if you play this game. So away it goes, and you can see it's already has 2 stacks of ore in here. Maybe I'll hold the shift button and left click on a stack, and that puts it into the depot for me because I don't need to carry around a bunch of stuff anymore. I'll close that for now. And the other thing that I kind of want to mention here is say I built the belt out here. The belt is directional as well. So if you want the stuff to come out of the mining machine, you start by clicking on the mining machine and then dragging the belts out. Because if you do it the other way, towards the mining machine, then the conveyor belt goes in that direction. If you do that, you can hit the X button on your keyboard, and you can delete these one at a time by left clicking on them. It doesn't destroy them, it just puts it back in your inventory, which is nice. But if you wanted to delete this entire section all at once, you hold shift and left click on it, and it just all goes back into your inventory. But what I wanted to tell you and failed to tell you was that if you have, like, if we had built the belt out here and our storage depot was back there, and then we tried to put a sorter, we could do that, but the longer the distance, the slower the sorter is. So this one, because it's reaching out 1, 2, 3 spaces, is only 0.5 trips per second, which is picking only 30 pieces per minute. And that's typically not what we want, because it's going to create a bottleneck. So that was just for demonstration. There's nothing on this belt for it to pick, so it's not doing anything. I'm going to hit X on the keyboard. I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to get rid of this section of belt. It's just telling me here that this sorter is not linked with anything anymore. That's okay because I want to delete it. So we'll hit X and then make sure the sorter is highlighted and nothing else. And I'm going to left click on it. And it's gone now. So that's working away. And now we gotta do the same thing over here. Because we want iron ore to be automated as well. So I'm going to, at the bottom, the third icon is my logistics, and I'm going to click on the conveyor belt. And remember, it's directional, so I want to start by clicking on the mining machine. And because I had to place the mining machine offset from the grid, it's going to draw the belt a little bit funky, but that's okay. Maybe we'll do this much belt. My drones are going to go out and build it. The fourth button on the bottom has my other 2 storage depots. I'm just going to put them here. I'll stack them. Third button on the bottom has my sorters. So one, I'm going to click on the belt and then click on the storage depot, and same here. I could put a third one if I wanted to, but I don't have to, because it's just not all. If I do that, I'll show you. I'll put a third one as well, and then I'm going to put a Tesla tower beside it so that it has power. All this is going to do it's going to drain because it's picking off the belt faster than the mining machine can supply it. It's going to drain all the ore from the mining machine, and then you're going to see gaps on the belt, which is fine. And finally, you see this last part of the belt will never get a piece of ore, and this sorter will never do anything. So I'm going to use the X button. I'll make sure that the sorter in the middle is highlighted, and then I'm going to click left, and it's going to disappear because we don't need it. And this is now collecting the ore at the same rate we are producing it. So that's going on like that, and that's great. Now what I want to do is I would like to turn this ore into ingots automatically. So I'm going to click on the technology tree, and I want to select metallurgy because it has this arc smelter that will create the ingots for me. So I'm going to activate metallurgy. I'm going to hit escape, and it needs 10 magnetic coils. So I'm going to hit F on the keyboard to bring open the replicator. I click on the items tab, and I select the magnetic coil recipe, and each recipe creates 2, so I need to create the recipe 5 times. Away it goes. It also needs the circuit boards, and likewise each recipe creates 2 circuit boards, so I will create the recipe 5 times, and away it goes. Sort the inventory. Maybe I'll clean up these couple of trees here because they're eventually going to be in my way. By the way, you don't really have to clean up the trees. I just do it because I need the fuel anyway, and I'm a little bit OCD. Like you could build, I think you can build over top of it, and it'll just destroy them. But you won't get any of the resources you would have gotten from clicking on them. So it looks like the research is almost done. Just wait 1 more second.
Research complete.
And it's done. So now, what I'm going to do is, we got this storage depot here that's collecting ore. I'm going to run a belt. I should probably build more belts. So maybe I'll click on it twice. 60 more belts on the way. So at the bottom, I'm clicking on the 3rd icon, and then the belts. I'm going to run another belt on the other side of this. Just like that, I guess. And I'm going to put, if you look at the bottom, there's now a 5th icon called production. I'm going to click on that, and that one has my arc smelter. I have 3 of them. I think it just gave me 3 from completing the research. I'm going to put one down there. And before I forget, let's build a couple more. Build another 3. So we got it down here. Now if I click on it, it brings up this window. Now you click on the gear and you have to select the recipe that you want this thing to make. I want it to make copper ingots. So I'm going to click on that. Now it is set to make copper ingots. Now that means we have to feed it. So how fast can it make copper ingots? I think it can make 60 ingots per minute. So that means all we need is one of these sorters. Remember, it's directional, so click on the conveyor belt and then to the arc smelter. That will feed stuff into the arc smelter at 90 pieces per minute. I'm going to delete this extra single piece of conveyor belt because we don't need it there. And then over here, we're going to
Replication complete.
we have to, because we want pieces to come out of the depot, we click on the depot first and then onto the conveyor belt. And as you saw, the grid is now yellow, which means we're slightly over capacity because this arc smelter takes 360 kilowatts of draw. And if you click on the smelter, you can see there's already 25 ingots in there. It's creating roughly 55 per minute. That's because it's only operating at 91% efficiency because there's not enough power on the grid. When it gets to 50, it's just going to stop because that's all it can hold. It's either 50 or 100. I think it's 50 though. So that means we have to build a few more wind turbines. So let's build 2 because that's all we have stuff for. And well, I guess it goes to 100. I'm going to collect these ingots anyways because we need them. And away it goes for now. And you probably guessed it, I'm going to do the same sort of thing over here. I'm just going to put a belt here.
Application complete.
A little belt. And at the bottom, I'm going to click on the 5th icon, get my arc smelter. This is going to cause even more power issues. Cause even more power issues. Put it there. On the 3rd icon, I'm going to get the sorter from the belt into the arc smelter. We're going to change the recipe to the iron ingots, and then we're going to start feeding from the depot. I'll put 2 onto the belt, and then this is going to work away. Now we're way under power on the grid, so I'm going to click on the power icon at the bottom, and I'm going to click on these wind turbines, and we've got to get a few more of them down. So I'm just going to try to line them up in a nice little grid-like configuration. Now the grid went blue again, but it's basically at full capacity. You can tell that it won't be long before we have all sorts of these wind turbines all over the place. So that's going to be another problem that we have to deal with very soon, which is power. I'm going to click on this. There's 100 ingots here. It has stopped producing. It cannot produce anymore. I'm going to shift left click on it to take that from the arc smelter, put it into my inventory. I'm going to do the same over here with the iron ingots, because we're going to need them to build things. This little icon here, the warning sign with the down arrow, just means that it's telling us we're running low on resources here to mine. So you look at that and you say, how is 45,000 ore considered low? Well, it is in this game. So I would like these ingots to be stored probably in a bin, a storage depot. So I'm just gonna drop a belt. We only need one sorter, because the sorter can do 90 pieces per minute, and the arc smelter is only doing 60 pieces per minute. I'm going to click on the smelter, and then on the belt, and out it comes onto the belt. And let's put it.
Materials.
And it looks like I don't have enough depots at the moment. And to create, if I hit F to get the fabric or the replicator, and then click on the items tab, sorry, the buildings tab, it has the depot here, and it says I need this brick. So I've got some stone from picking up off the ground. I'm just going to build 4 more of these storage depots for now. And I might as well run a belt over here. Like this. You can see the stupid trees are in the way now.
Replication complete.
I'm going to put a sorter from the smelter onto the belt. It's going to start putting ingots onto the belt. And now a bin. You'll see it's probably going to destroy this tree. The tree disappears, but I don't get the resources. And we're going to put a sorter from the belt to the depot. And I'm just going to delete this last little piece of belt. It's complaining that it doesn't have power, so I'm going to put a Tesla tower here. This is very messy, by the way, but it's just for demonstration. You will be building something a lot more prettier than this. But you can see now the ingots that I need for everything are automatically going into this depot. So I'm going to actually put a second bin on top of it, because I know we're going to need lots. Over here, we're going to do the same thing. It probably needs power. I'll just put it here for now. And away it goes. Now we're running low. If we look at the grid, it's running basically at 100% capacity right now. So we could put more wind turbines down, and that's probably what you'll have to do. But I just want to show you that over here, if I hit escape to get out of construction mode. These these coal veins here, coal, if I click on it, I can gather it quite quickly. One coal every half a second. It can also be used as fuel. So like, I could take the plants out. If I hold shift and click on my stack of 31 coal, it'll go into the fuel chamber and it can be used as fuel. But what I really want to do is I want to use it to generate power for the grid. So I'm going to click on the technology tree in the bottom right corner, and one of these, I have to find it because I don't remember exactly where it is. Where the heck is it now? Thermal power. Yes. So this thermal power plant would be nice. You can put it down and feed coal into it with a belt, and it'll generate 2.16 megawatts of power. So that's like having, let me quickly do the math here, 6 or 7 wind turbines. And it depends on like what kind of fuel that you're feeding into it. It can produce like a little bit more power if you're feeding, say, energized graphite into it rather than coal. But you're gonna have to figure that out. In order to get it though, it's saying I need these blue cubes. And eventually you're going to run into this where you have to research this electromagnetic matrix, because you have to build these matrix labs to produce these blue cubes, and these blue cubes are used in almost everything. Everything needs these blue cubes, 400 here, right? This one also needs red cubes. So I was hoping to show you that thermal power plant, feeding the coal into it, but I'm not going to be able to squeeze that one into this video. But what I would do is I would build the power plants, I would feed the coal into it with a belt, and then I would connect it to the grid with a Tesla tower, or a couple of them. Anyway, I guess before I end this video, I'll quickly mention the dark fog. So in the upper left corner here, you can see 2 bars. The top one you don't have to worry about because it takes forever to fill up. The bottom one is dark fog, which is the enemy. It's saying we're 62% of the way towards an attack. Now, if you hover over that bar, you see this red line. And this red line is pointing to where that enemy base is. And if I left click on the picture of the globe in the bottom left corner, and then I press the mouse wheel like a button, I can drag the whole globe, and I can see over here is the enemy base. So these guys are going to attack me in a few minutes, and they're not really that bad. They're going to come over here and try to destroy my stuff. I just have to make sure that I get in front of it, and then I will attack them with the weapons that I have. Anyways, that's it for this video because it's almost 30 minutes ago.